kind of as expected, the market kind of dipped and then it got bought back up. Pretty much got dipped down to where the breakout level was and then just recovered. As expected, also XLK, which is the largest, about 28% of the S&P 500, is almost at all-time highs. It's pretty much topping out, and you can look at Apple and Microsoft pretty much moved sideways yesterday. Apple could not break 185, but the rest of the market, the rest of the breadth of the market was moving higher, especially discretionary XLY with Tesla. And I talked about that in the yesterday when I went over the sectors, what needed to happen. Financials did not break out, but both the financials and discretionary made nice moves. Okay, setting up to take this market higher. If they go, the market, the rest of the breadth is going to move up with it. So, without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile, volume profile to find structure in this market, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day, all to not get fooled by price action, because that's really what's hard to do, is when you watch price and you can get fooled. And if you're not looking at structure, it could definitely make you feel certain emotions about market going down and the market going up, FOMO, all that stuff, right? Still hard even with the structure, but that's why I use the structure to keep a solid foundation. Okay, really need to look at that structure and try to look at a longer time frame too, because like little time frames can make you get real jumpy. So subscribe, set an alert if you haven't already. Okay, if you like my content, you can do it now, do it later. Please give me a thumbs up. All right, and you can also follow me at X at Gonzo719. Okay, we can get right into it now. Remember, we have CPI today. We have CPI. Market's expecting a softer number. Okay, so let's look at the futures. Good morning, Chief. Let's look at these futures, okay? We got silver up 0.46. Okay, we have the Nasdaq's up 0.24. VIX is up 0.2. ES is up 0.11. 30-year bonds up 0.11. And this is all going to change, obviously. The Dow's slightly up. Russell's slightly up. 10-year yield doesn't report to 820. However, that should be down a little bit with 30-year bond being bought. But like I said, this is all really doesn't matter until that CPI print is out. Dollar slightly down. Oil slightly down 0.23. Bitcoin's down 0.79. And Ether's down 2.5. All right. Let's move on to the stocks I like to day trade and swing trade. Okay. Leader, Tesla. Remember Tesla, I really like that 226 level, 227 level. And this really could push that market. You need XLY to join the party. I've been talking about that, been banging that drum. After this CPI print, I did put on a position yesterday for XLY. Did kind of a risk reversal. I did a put credit spread, and I did a long call vertical. However, I took it off just because I was like, you know what? I don't want to have any risk on with CPI coming out, even though I believe the CPI is going to be a nothing burger. But why have that? I can put it back on today. All right, because I really like the XLY. All right, I really like that to move because that really has a lot of consolidation, and when that rips, it's going to rip. Okay. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but don't follow what I'm saying. Seek professional guidance. Okay, and Nvidia, right? We're up 0.65 pre-market. Snow, I like snow too. Okay, snow above 162. Look at snow, it's coiling. Okay, it's coiling. Roblox getting some love, up 4.46. Boeing. All right, I'm really looking at Boeing. My pre-market plan over the weekend was 197, break 197 and 200. Well, it's at 205 right now. So I would love a pullback. Uh, let's see here. We have some laggards, BABA and Coin. Really liking Coin. Okay. You look at a chart. All right. There's an uptrend line, and Coin is hitting the uptrend line. I actually was looking at 90 yesterday as a day trade. Didn't get filled. Didn't come back down to 90 to get filled, but I really liked it because if you look at the chart, has a nice move up and then it has some nice move down and right to gamma level of 90. That's a big gamma level. Okay. And a monthly high. Last month's highs was at 89.4, which is also there. So that's a really nice level. Thought about playing some options on it. But I want to wait for today. What's going to happen with today? So really was liking that coin yesterday. Would have been a nice trade, but that's okay. I didn't get filled. That's fine. Top sector stocks. Home Depot reported. Okay, they got less of a decline in sales than they thought. So that's positive, I guess, right? Qualcomm, and we got Salesforce. And who's negative here today? Visa and Exxon. All right, Visa and Exxon. Moving to sectors. Now look at the leader today. Discretionary, right? Being in that drum at the 162 level, right? That's a breakout level. 162, 163 also coincides with 226 with Tesla, right? Keep an eye on that. This is the sector that needs to push, and it will really push this market. Okay. Semis up 0.28. Technologies up 0.24. Laggard, utility, not much laggards. Energy and healthcare is not. That's not much of a laggard. Okay, not really much of a laggard there. And we're still awaiting this news to come out, right? So we're gonna go to that. Okay, we're gonna go to that. Let's look at our economic calendar. And see what we have on tap. Fed Jefferson spoke earlier. All right. Now today we have CPI, right? I know the Fed looks to look at the core, but the market really likes to feed off the headline, right, which is the year over year. So if we look at core inflation year over year, we're pretty much consensus is 4.1, forecast is 4. So it's kind of like staying steady. That's the core. Right? Now the headline number which is the more number that's talked about. We're looking for 3.3. We previously got 3.7, so we're looking for a 0.4 reduction. All right, oil has been coming down. Okay, that energy is really gonna make a difference here. So we know oil has come from like I think it was $95 a barrel all the way down to where we're at now, 78. So that's going to help out that number. Obviously, somehow if we get a surprise, where it's hot, which, like I said, energy's really done its job in the last month. So we'll have to see, right? I think today's going to be a nothing burger, but what does that mean? Doesn't mean anything, right? What I think, but we'll see, right? That's what's coming up today. Fed bar speaking at 10 a.m. Fed Messer at 11 a.m. So you got Fed speak all day. Okay, we just have to see what's going to go on with this news that's going to come out in about 10 minutes. Okay, tomorrow is PPI and retail sales. Okay, now we'll see retail sales. Important to note about that is student loans payments have started. That was started in October 1st. We're going to see if that's hurting wallets, right? Because I've saw some statistics that it's going to be around a $300 to $400 payment average around all the people who owe on student loans. So that was basically stimulus, right? That was stimulus that they didn't have to pay that. Now that's coming out of their income. Okay, so let's see, right? I don't put too much weight into anything. And I was actually talking to my good friend Rosa yesterday saying that, I'm only interested in stuff that moves the market, right? CPI is going to move the market today, but it might be a nothing burger by the time it opens, right? If it comes in line, the market's going to just do what the market's going to do. It's going to just, continue on to do what the market does, right? But if it's a hot number or it's way under, right, that could be bullish or bearish for the market. Okay. Some news I already talked about: Home Depot, oil. Now, some things to note. I don't put too much weight into this, but the U.S. 10-year Treasury note has peaked in the current cycle, said 30 of 32 strategists. Right? That's come out. Bank of America says investors' most overweight bonds since the global financial crisis. Okay. Now, if you look at obviously the 10-year and the TLT, it's kind of basing. TLT's kind of gapped up, and it's basing. All right, went down to those monthly all-time, not all-time lows, but like went down to a very key support, right? And if you think, this is a pretty nice graph right here. It's what people think that the CPI year over year. So Bank of America, it looks like they're expecting 3.4, but the majority of people are expecting 3.3. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm saying about treasuries, we really have to see we're at a really place where the TNX has found support, and if we get a rally into the end of the year, that should drive the yields lower, and bonds should go up, right? I mean, I'm holding some TLT. I just like it. It's been have 3 years. It'll be the first time, and I think the first time ever that you'll have a loss in bonds for 3 years in a row. So it's oversold, undervalued. Okay, and the beauty about that is, if we get a recession, people are going to flock to it. If we get huge rally, yields go down. So I kind of like it, but you know, I know some people have been averaging down since the hundreds in the TLT. Luckily, I've been averaging down below the 90s, so I'm in a good I have a good average price. But who knows? I don't know. This is kind of a longer term trade. So anyway, let's move on to some daily charts. We got 7 minutes to the news pops. Let's look at that. Okay. Oop. I didn't want to do that. I did not want to do that. Did not want to do that. All right. Let's go over to the daily charts. There's not much to really gleam at. Okay. Because we didn't do much yesterday. But let's just look at it anyway. All right. So, SPX, just the cash market right here. Now we got last week's highs, and we breached it slightly. See the downtrend line still holding, right? Downtrend line still holding. We're still above. We came down to last month's highs. Okay, didn't really do much yesterday. Okay, we're pretty much waiting for today. Okay, so intact the downtrend line, and we're holding last month's highs. That's basically what we're doing in this cash market, the SPX. I mean, you see the same thing in SPY. Okay, same kind of look. We got the Qs. Qs obviously stronger. It didn't even come down to last month's highs, right? But it came, we basically came close to Friday's highs, right? Like I said, XLK did not participate really in that rally yesterday. Apple, Microsoft. Nvidia did a little bit, then sold off at the end, at the close. Okay. Now the Dow did broke out of this little consolidation yesterday. And of course, where did we hit, right? The 61.8, 343. 343 is a key level. Okay. Look at this support here, resistance, and it came right back up to it. Okay. So, broke the trend line yesterday, and just have to see in the Dow. Now, the Home Depot is up. That's in the Dow, right? Salesforce was up yesterday. That's the Dow. United Healthcare, though, is the largest holding. And that's just been coiling, and it's almost going towards like all-time highs. It's crazy. I'm a proud owner. So that's that. So let's look at the IWM, which has been the weakest. All right, so we just pretty much got inside day of Friday. So we got a double top here at about 169. Okay. So got a little trend here. Let's see what IWM can do. Right. This has really been weak. Really been weak. So we can go over to the triple-headed monster just to look at the 10-year. All right. So we're up here 4.9, almost 5, and we drop down, and we're just holding here. We're just holding in a range, right? Like I've been saying, the 4.448 yield is like the support. Okay, that's what's been going on there. Now the VIX really was up here, all the way up here, and just boom, went all the way down, and we're just kind of holding in this area, bouncing between 14 and 15. The dollar, again, in a range as well. Resistance 106.74. Support has been around 105.32. We're just, look at us, in this little range, right? We're just in this little range. That's what's been going on there. Okay. If you want to look at the RSP, that's the equal weighted, which looks pretty much like the IWM. This is the S&P 500 if everything was equal. You can see this does not look like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, right? Under the 200-day moving average, the 50-day moving average, not very strong, right? This is if all stocks were at equal weight. All right. Now we have a minute and a half until the news drops. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to an hourly chart. And we'll just watch it together. We'll watch together this price. All right, we'll watch the price together. Then we put up the hourly charts here. Now relative volume is low right now, 58% in the NASDAQ. I think I have this over 20 days, 72% in the ES. So relative volume's low. Okay. But we know we're going to get a spike when CPI print comes out. Okay. So we got about 10 seconds to this news to drop. And then we'll go back to the all right, that number must have been good because we're getting some push. Woo boy, look at that push higher. Okay, let's look at these numbers. Wow, that's some push higher, boy. Let's look at these numbers together. Oh, wow. Okay, that's why. So we were expecting 3.3. We got 3.2 headline inflation. So that was better number than expected. That's hence why you're getting the big move higher. Okay. All right. So you're getting a big move higher there. Let's see core. Oh, that's why. Core is expecting 4.1. We got 4. Market's really pushing up right now. There's your breakout. Jesus. What a catalyst. What a catalyst right now. It's just chewing up. Oh, wow. Look at that, boy. That's what the market wanted to see. And of course, I took my XLY off. Ugh. Oh boy, that's a monster move right there, folks. Wow. Oh my God. It just went up like 60, 70 points in futures. Crushed all these singles that were there. Took out all those shorts. Jeez, it's still going. We're going to reach 4,500 in futures. My God. And by the way, Tesla, I said I wanted to see it over 226. Tesla's at 231, almost 232 right now. Of course, XOY's course. Of course. Of course. You take the trade off. Being smart, I don't regret it, but it's like sucks that you're looking at it now and I'm like, wow, that would have been a nice. I would have been in the money on my spread. Oh yeah, yeah. So I don't see this coming back down. I mean, all numbers were softer than expected. I would be shocked if this came back to this area. Shocked. Let's just see the Nasdaq. Obviously, it's going to be the same. The Nasdaq just ripped through a series of supply zones. Wow. It's all in that market needed. A little bit of bullish news. So now you have a huge demand zone here now. I'm going to have to mark that right there. Let's see. That might even be, let's go to a 4-hour chart here. Let's go to 3-hour. It's probably going to be on a 2-hour maybe. Maybe 90-minute. Pretty much there. Boy, that market needed that, huh? Didn't need it, but like, wow. All right. All right. So that is what we got. What we got there, right? So before I'm gonna head out of here, cause now you got that big move, right? So we gotta look at the market profile here and see what we're gonna see here. I mean, that is just a monster move. There is not much to glean from this very thin volume on this whole move. Now you have here these, earlier what happened was you had this triple top here, and they just got crushed with that number. So you really have to sit and see now. And the one thing when you get a big move like this, 44.53 is the 50% Fibonacci of this move right here. So that's that, and you got the 100-day moving average in the futures on the daily right here. So right around here, you want to monitor that to see if it can hold, right? So algorithms kicked in with this news, no surprise, but you have to see 44.53. What's going to happen? Does it come back and test this? Does it move back? Right? So very, very interesting. Remember, you got a lot of thin, I mean, razor thin volume here. That was just a huge move. Okay. That was, like I said, about a 50-point move in futures. Actually, I think it was down here. It was bigger than that. Wow, this is something else, boy. Now you're gapping up huge. It's very interesting what's going to happen today. Do you get continuation on this huge move already, or do we balance around here somewhere? That's going to be the question today. Not easy. Not easy when you see this big of a gap up like this. So you really have to be patient and see what the market gives you. All right, we're going to look at the NASDAQ. There's that move. Just crushed four supply zones. It broke out of 4 supply zones. There's still a gap up here overhead that has not been filled. Okay. Now let's look at big time structure here. Now that we have that, you have to lean on structure. Okay. So here's the ES. Okay, we just made a move from here. Now this is the 44.20 area I was talking about previously in all my videos. This is where we went. When we were down here, I said 44.20 right here is a pivot. And that's kind of where we hung out until we just broke out, right? Now if you look to the left, right here, there's a large node right here, right? About around 4,500. I'm going to show you to the left. Now I can see it here with this large node here, right? So let's look at, because now that we have to look at long-term structure now. This node right here is 4,500, okay? If I go to the left, and I'm going to move my chart where that node is, okay? 4,500 was a previous month's most traded price right here. You see all this price right here. I think that's where we kind of stay around. I don't think we're going to start to poke around much higher than that. Okay? Now, I'm trying to see what else we have here, because if you look to the left, right, we have resistance right here. 45.82. So 4,500 should slow down this market. Should. It's probability, right? Should. 4,500. Okay. If we don't stop at 4,500, you have the next node is at 45.36. Then you have here, right? A little low volume node here, 45.50. So that's what I'm looking for. 4,500, I would believe we probably go to, top out at, and pull back a little bit. Now that's probability wise based on technical analysis. Okay, let's look at the NASDAQ together. Alrighty, we're looking at big time structure now. Remember, this is just the overall macro picture of the market. Okay, so what do we have here? We have the most traded price of the year right here. You can see all the volume, right? Heavy, 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 heavy volume. Now, where do we stop? Here. That's why the market was here. It's paused there. Okay. Now, this is the top of this year. Okay. So you have some volumes here. And that's where we are at right now. Okay. Got a high volume node right here. And we're right around there. Say about 158. We're right here. Okay. So the next move, this is a low volume node here, right here. That should act as resistance. Okay. That's previously a month's high, 15852. Okay, it could now a low volume node means it could stop there or it could blow through it. Okay, blow through it, we're going here, 160, 16,018. Okay, 16,018. Now we can look to the left here and we'll see why 16,018 is a possible destination, right? As I bring the chart to the left, okay. Sorry, the NASDAQ has a lot of tick data, so that's not exactly the fastest thing to move. Okay, so I brought it to the left, and right here is why that's here. Okay, so I expect us, if we're going to move 16 to probably about 16,000. Okay, so we have to see. We really have to see with structure how this is all going to pan out. I don't know. Okay, we'll have to see. But big move, right? We got the big move. Market's starting to push. It's up at the highs of the overnight session, so this is like a a wait and see. You really have to see what this market does here. All right. There's not much analysis past this 50% Fibonacci of the move 44.53. I have to see what the market does. I mean, I'm not going to just go long at the top of this. Okay. We could get a nasty pullback, right? You need liquidity to go higher. So you would like to see, you got some volume coming out here. But you'd like to see some kind of pullback and you see some consolidation to maybe make a move a little bit up. Okay. Obviously, we go back all the way back down to the breakout level. That's a little, I don't know, right? That's, you just have to see. This is a large gap like that is just not easy to trade. All right. That's it for me. Everybody have a good day. Stay patient. This is not easy. The large gap up. Okay. Other than that, good luck. Stay green, and I'll see you tomorrow.